Big O Tires of Evanston presents Evanston Outlaw American Legion Baseball on KNYN, the big dog in country, with video online at k-9radio.com. Today's game is brought to you by these supporting businesses and individuals: Big O Tires, Castle Rock Chevrolet, Hoover Chiropractic, T-Bar-S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, Old West Stories and Productions, Dirty Harry's Pet Wash, Old West Design, Telegram to Good Health, Allstate, Casey Cookert Agency, Walmart of Evanston, Ogden's Flooring and Design of Evanston, Rocky Mountain Massage, Davis Chiropractic, Aspen Grove Nursery, and your scoreboard sponsor for today's broadcast is Uwina Physical Therapy. And now it's time for a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw American Legion Baseball on KNYN, the big dog in country, with video online at k-9radio.com.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Provo, the home of the Bulldogs. We're at Footprinter Park and ready for some American Legion baseball action here for the Evanston Outlaws versus the Provo Bulldogs. Now, this is a Bulldog team that it's the high school team, but they start their summer season today, actually. It's their season opener for the summer season. They just wrapped up their high school season a couple of weeks ago or less, and we're just about to get underway here in Provo. Now, the opening pitch is scheduled for about 15 minutes from now. In the meantime, we have our pregame show on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws baseball on the Big Dog, k-9radio.com.
Mom's onboard electronic stability control system was giving us some woes. I don't even know what that means, but he does.
You guys are all fixed and ready to go.
Expert care for your car, so you can trust in more than just your tires.
We've got the selection you need and the friendly service you deserve. Come see us today. Big O Tires, Evanston, Wyoming.
Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Welcome back to Provo, Utah, the home of the Bulldogs. A beautiful stadium here in Provo where the Evanston Outlaws are taking on the Bulldogs today. And as I just mentioned, boy, it's a beautiful afternoon. We do have some overcast skies right now, just covering the sun for us here. As you're watching online at k-9radio.com, we are actually sitting on top of the third base dugout and looking out toward the west. Out past those trees that you see is Utah Lake and the west desert of Utah. But we're here in Provo. It's on the southwest side of the city. It's a beautiful field that they just finished within the last couple of years, and it's a great site. We're going to have a nice game today. Now, the Provo Bulldogs just wrapped up their high school season within the last couple of weeks. And as for the Evanston Outlaws, well, you know what happened last night. The Outlaws were at Green River in a game that Evanston struggled a little bit. They just kind of came out flat, as Coach Judd Kishpa told us, and we'll hear from him here in just a few minutes on the pregame show. Outlaws came out flat yesterday and lost 2-1. They had beaten the Green River Knights 4 straight times, including a 4-2 win in Evanston, a 14-9 win at the Green River Tournament, a 5-2 win at the Jackson Tournament, and a 13-0 win just 1 week ago in Evanston. But then Green River got the better of the Outlaws last night, 2-1. Evanston had just 3 hits in the ball game, didn't get much going. Now, Hunter Hicks pitched a great game for the Outlaws on the mound. It gave up just 5 hits, couple of runs is all, but didn't get a lot of run support. So the Outlaws are going to be looking to get the bats swinging a little bit better here today. And as for the Provo Bulldogs, now what we can tell you is that during the high school season that just ended, May 9th was their final game. They lost to Wasatch in a Region 8 play-in game, trying to make it into the state tournament. Finished overall 13-12. They went 6-6 in Region 8, and that region includes the team that was the runner-up for the state championship in the 4A. Now, Utah, if you're familiar with it, Utah has up to 5 classes, so they go up to a 5A. Provo plays in the 4A classification, and Spanish Fork is also in that same region as Provo. They lost 6-4 to Bountiful for the 4A state title. Provo played Spanish Fork a couple of times this year, lost to them 5-0 and 7-4. So this is a Provo team that's very competitive. They had a solid season. Now, they lost 6 seniors to graduation, but Coach, we'll hear in a few minutes here from Coach Lance Moore, and he's optimistic about what they have coming back and what they'll have during this summer season of high school baseball. So stay tuned. We'll have coaches' interviews here in just a minute. We'll talk with Coach Lance Moore of the Provo Bulldogs. Then we'll hear from Coach Judd Kishbaugh right after this on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Castle Rock Chevrolet, your hometown dealer. Hoover Chiropractic. Don't just mask the symptoms, cure your allergies with Dr. Hoover. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com. This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car. Old West Stories and Productions. For all of your website and graphic design needs, call the marketing experts at this radio station, 789-8116. And by Old West Design, helping sports teams and businesses dress for success. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com.
Ryan Steinekert here with Lance Moore, head coach of the Provo Bulldog Summer League baseball team and the high school team as well. And, Coach, I thank you for your time today.
Well, hey, thank you, Ryan. It's great to be here.
So this is your first game of Summer League play. How is it going to work out for you to start things off against the Evanston Outlaws?
You know, we're excited. We've never done this, but this is something that I think could quickly develop into a tradition. And, you know, like we talked about, it's going to be a perfect time for this because our summer season starts next week, and we'll be able to get guys a couple innings on the mound here and there and get guys some at-bats and, you know, hopefully form a relationship where we do this in the future, too.
Are you pretty, I mean, you know what guys you're going to have from the spring baseball season, what guys are going to be here this summer for your team?
Yes, essentially our summer team is basically going to be our next year's varsity team. So you'll have a handful of juniors, so maybe 7 juniors or so, and a handful of sophomores who will be seniors and juniors next year respectively, who are looking forward to playing the Outlaws today.
Tell me a little bit about your team and some of those juniors that were big contributors during the spring season.
We graduate 6 good seniors, but we had a pretty solid year, and obviously we'll miss those guys. But we returned 3/4 of our infield. We returned Ty Atkinson at first base, Hayden Phillips at second base, and Colton Moore at shortstop. Those guys are all juniors. We also return our catcher, Miguel Pena. All 4 of those guys had very good defensive years, and you know, I think we're pretty solid in that regard. And I think that one of the biggest things is we return our ace pitcher, who's only a sophomore this year, and he'll throw a few innings today. His name is Jack Rainier. Colton Moore and Jack Rainier each were named to the first team all-region team this year, too.
Great. Are you expecting a little bit of a kind of a learning curve jumping from the spring season and losing those 6 seniors to the summer league?
Most definitely, especially we'll have some new guys in the outfield, and we'll have a new guy at third, and we've got to develop a number 2 pitcher in this mix somewhere as well. So, you know, we've got those guys, and we've got a couple more guys who will be in the mix, but that's the nucleus of our club for next year, and we're looking forward to seeing how they develop this summer.
You sound pretty optimistic about it.
You know, I really am, and I think always one of the biggest questions is, hey, who's going to pitch for you? And, you know, if we can get somebody to complement Rainier on the mound, I think we could be pretty darn good next year.
Great. Well, Coach, anything else you want to touch on today?
You know, one thing, I was just talking to some of the guys this week, and we did not have a splendid summer last year as far as just success. We didn't win as many summer games as we'd hoped to, and that's one of our goals, is to have a better summer season this year, to learn how to win those close games, to battle through some of those tough games and give yourself a chance to win at the end. And, you know, hopefully we're going to start that today and give those Outlaws a pretty good game.
Hey, well, good luck with that, Coach. And, again, I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you, and we sure are excited to have you guys, and we look forward to this. Like I said, we hope it develops into a traditional thing. That'd be fun.
All right. Well, I hope so, too. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Ryan. We'll see you.
Well, thank you to Lance Moore, head coach of the Provo Bulldogs. We're less than 10 minutes away from the opening pitch and today's action. You're watching the pregame show. Stay tuned. We'll visit with Outlaw head coach Judd Kishpaw in just a moment. You're watching a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws baseball here on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
I'm a 75-year-old woman who had a low back surgery. After surgery, I had a lot of pain in my left leg. My doctor ordered physical therapy, and I chose Mark Brinkerhoff. He gave me exercises that I could tolerate, and now I have no pain, and I can walk as I always did. Mark seems to be very knowledgeable and experienced. I am very happy with my results.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw baseball sponsors. Telegram to good health. Click on the telegram at k-9radio.com. Uinta Physical Therapy. You have a choice of where you can get your treatment. Walmart of Evanston. Save money, live better. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at k-9radio.com.
Coach Judd Kishpaw joining us now. Coach, your thoughts about the loss 2-1 to the Green River Knights?
Flat. That was my thought from the first inning. I could tell when they were warming up. We kind of got here late. It's my fault, but yeah, Hunter Hicks, he pitched very well.
He did.
And that's his first really start with one of these big teams, so he did real well.
The complete game, I think he just allowed 5 or 6 hits. I thought he looked good.
Yeah, he did. I was going to get Housekeeper in there. I wanted to get Housekeeper in there, but I waited too long. I thought we could battle back there at the end. We couldn't. Every ball we put into play went right to somebody, and their shortstop did real well.
He did.
Yeah, and they couldn't pick up the signs. We had 3 missed signs. Those
on the base running.
Yep. So when we did get on, because we only had 3 hits,
right,
and that's a no-no. We got to work on base running.
What a contrast from last week's 13-0 win in Evanston to tonight's 2-1 loss.
Yeah. Well, we weren't flat. I can tell you that right now. I mean, and it might help being behind the arm of Ian Fisher on the mound, but I mean, young Hunter Hicks, he throws some garbage, and he's got a good fastball. It's not overly fast, but he can really, when he changes, it just slows right up. And those guys, it takes them a while to pick it up, but once they start picking up, they'll all start hitting it. And that's the thing with Hunter, and I should have made a change a little earlier, but I mean, those weren't earned runs. So
right. I imagine you feel like you should be able to win a game when you hold the other team to 2 runs, right?
Oh, easily. But when you only get 3 hits, we strive for 8. 8 is our golden number. That's what we want. We feel that anytime we get 8 or more, then we win a ball game.
Right. So you got to get right back into it at Provo. Do you know anything about the Bulldogs?
No, we have a spy.
Okay.
Braden McDonald used to be down there, and all those kids are kids he grew up with. He used to play down there in Provo, and his stepdad used to be a coach down there. So we got a little bit. We know a couple of the kids. They're going to come out probably pretty strong. They've had a full season already under their belt.
Right.
They start in February. So we'll see. I don't know what we're going to do on the mound. We'll see.
I mean, as a coach, what are your thoughts for what are you going to tell them to get them to be a little more intense and get up for tonight's game?
Well, I asked them if they liked what it felt like to lose to these guys that they've really been just throttling, and you can tell. I asked them if we needed to change the music on the ride over, what we needed to do, but we got to do something. We can't, and I can feel it as soon as we get out there. I can you just know your kids, and once they start being a little kind of, they're not taking it seriously. I jumped them a little bit, but not too bad. I mean, everybody has an off game.
Right. There's some positives to take from it, though. I think Hunter Hicks pitched a great game. He hit the ball well, and you did have a couple good hits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him, Miles, and I thought Miles and Hunter Hicks were going to put him over. They hit right at the fence, and those were bombs. I'll just blame myself for this game.
Okay, okay. Well, good luck, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right.
Thank you to Coach Judd Kishpa for that interview. Now, this has been the pregame show. We're about 3 minutes away from the starting lineups and today's opening pitch. You're watching a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws baseball here on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Davis Chiropractic, traditional chiropractor, traditional values with flexible payment plans. Aspen Grove Nursery, your full-service nursery. Uinta Physical Therapy, comprehensive assessment and treatment programs for your individual needs. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com. This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. The Casey Kukert Allstate Agency for all of your insurance needs, auto, home, boat, and recreational vehicles. See Casey Kukert, your Allstate agent. By Dirty Harry's Pet Wash. Clean house, clean car, clean clothes, why not a clean pet? Bath time can be magical. Make a splash today. Veterans are free at Dirty Harry's Pet Wash in the Monkey Shines Mall. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com.
Well, welcome back to Provo, home of the Bulldogs. We're just moments away from getting this one underway, and we have your starting lineups for you now. Starting on the mound, we'll give you the Provo Bulldogs first. The Evanston Outlaws, of course, the visiting team, will have Braden McDonald, Ian Fisher, and Tucker Leland up first. On the mound is Jack Rainier. First pitch down the line, a ground ball by McDonald. He jumps right on it, but foul. And so Jack Rainier on the mound, Miguel Pena behind the plate. At first base, Ty Atkinson. Second base, Hayden Phillips. Third base, Trapper Denton. Colton Moore at short. Left to right field, Corey Hernandez, J.C. Morales, and Anthony Kilcrease. As for the Evanston Outlaws, Braden McDonald starting. He's leading off for Evanston and playing behind the plate today. He'll be catching. He fouls one up high over the first base dugout, and he's down 0-2 in the count. You can see that Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard as we're just underway here in Provo. Rainier, the starting pitcher for the Provo Bulldogs, is, if you heard Coach Moore's interview just a few moments ago, he's their ace. He's the team's ace. He pitched, he had 11 decisions this season as McDonald grounds one down the first baseline, just foul. Good contact on that, but he's going to head back into the batter's box, still down 0-2 in the count. So Rainier, 7-4 this year as a starter this season, and as Coach Moore said, he is the team's ace. Coming back this year, he'll be a senior next school year. He's up 0-2 on McDonald right now. Here's McDonald awaiting, swings on one line drive right at the shortstop. Colton Moore, the easy play. He just didn't have to move his feet at all. It was good contact by McDonald, just unfortunately hit it right at the shortstop. Similar to last night, what we saw at Green River, the Outlaws made some good contact against the pitchers. A lot of different times, but just so often hit it right at the shortstop. One down, Ian Fisher at the plate now for the Outlaws. Ian will be on the mound today for Evanston. On deck is Tucker Leland. Leland will be at short. Fisher with a ball and no strikes after that first pitch was down low, swings and misses. Strike one from Rainier. Wind coming in pretty strong from left field, straight in from left toward the first base dugout. It's just picked up. We really had a real nice, actually a quite hot afternoon up until this point. Fisher takes strike two. One ball, two strikes, right? 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was the third pitch. We'll see. Fisher swings on this one. Kind of reached out to get it. It's almost a protection swing, and he fouls it off down the first base line. So the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fisher looks down to Kishpa at third, gets some direction from his coach. Colton Moore playing deep at shortstop. At second baseman, Hayden Phillips playing pretty deep as well for the Bulldogs. Here's the pitch for Fisher. Ground ball back toward the pitcher. It gets past Rainier. Hey, Phillips comes up, makes the catch, the throw toward home plate, and a good stretch by Ty Atkinson to keep his foot on the bag and get Fisher at first. The Outlaws down 1-2. A line out to the shortstop, a ground out to second. Now Tucker Leland to the plate with 2 outs. Ian Fisher, again, he'll be on the mound. Tucker Leland will be at shortstop. Will Kishpa on deck. He'll be in left today. Austin Herford will bat 5th, and he'll be at 3rd. Griffin Mitchell, first baseman, will bat 6th. First pitch for Leland here. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Big cut there by Tucker Leland. Robbie Nowicki will be in center field, batting 7th. Batting 8th, Hunter DeRue at second base, and Wyatt Waite in right field, batting 9th for the Outlaws. Here's the 0-1 for Leland, down low inside, ball 1. Ball and a strike for Tucker Leland. Just underway here in Provo. It's become a windy afternoon. Got some dark clouds coming in. We may get a little bit of sprinkle here. Here's Leland, the high chopper towards short. This is slow enough. He might be able to beat it out, and he is going to beat it out. Trapper Denton charging in from third base. It took a funny hop, and it skipped off his glove. I don't think he would have been able to throw Leland out anyways. So Tucker Leland on first. We'll give him the infield single. If there's a question about an error or a single or a base hit, I tend to go in favor of the base hit. Give the stats a little pad, I guess. Will Kishpa to the plate, cleanup hitter. Left fielder today for the Outlaws. He steps in. Rainier glances at first. Now the pitch. Kishpa dribbles it down the first base line. I thought it might have gone off his foot, but he heads down that way. And boy, that was almost like a bunt. He kind of checked his swing, and the ball stops in foul territory, so that'll count for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. You can hear that wind picking up down here in Provo. Coming straight out of left field. We're right on top of the third base dugout. And the throw over to first. Leland back in safe, diving in there. Good quick move by Rainier. You see some good things out of him and why he is the Bulldogs' ace. Bulldogs in black. The Provo on the chest is actually a camo type pattern, and you can see that on their hats as well. You'll see it more as we go throughout the game. Again, the move to first. Leland stays on his feet this time and almost loses his balance. Getting back to the bag. Taking his lead at first. Inches out a little further. Rainier looking in. Kishpa back in. No balls, 1 strike on Kishpa. Rainier glances back. Here's the pitch. Down low in the strike zone for strike 2 on Kishpa. Boy, and that wind has shifted just a little bit. It's kind of coming in from right behind us now. Across the diamond from third to first is the direction of the wind right now. Probably about 20 miles an hour. Now Leland headed for second. The throw from the catcher's way up high. It's into center field. Leland slides, then heads for third. He slides in at third, and he's safe. Morales was charging in from center field and got there pretty quickly, but Leland able to come up off the slide real quick. And so he steals second and gets over to third on the pass ball. So now the Outlaws with a runner on third, 2 outs, top of the first inning, and Will Kishpa, a ball and 2 strikes on him. He'll step back in. Austin Herford on deck for Evanston. Kishpa awaits. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Rainier gets himself out of that little bit of a jam. To end that inning, you can see the frustration from Kishpa as he slams the bat down onto the ground after that strikeout. So Rainier picks up his first strikeout of the game. Outlaws unable to take advantage. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Heading for the bottom of the first inning, and it'll be Ian Fisher on the mound for Evanston when we come back right after this on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Ogden's Flooring and Design of Evanston. Everything you need to update the flooring, cabinets, and countertops in your home. Rocky Mountain Massage. Chronic pain management, stress reduction, and overall sense of well-being. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at k-9radio.com.
Welcome back to Provo. The Outlaws able to get a base hit. Tucker Leland dribbled one real slow grounder in the infield, middle of the infield, and reached base, got around to third after a stolen base and a pass ball as the Bulldogs were trying to gun him down at second. But Outlaws unable to get anything going after that as Will Kishpaw struck out. Austin Herford will be up first when the Outlaws come back up in the top of the second. In the meantime, bottom of the first inning, it'll be Hayden Phillips, second baseman, leading off, followed by shortstop Colton Moore, and then first baseman Ty Atkinson. Pitcher Jack Rainier will bat cleanup for the Bulldogs. First pitch from Fisher for Phillips is high and inside, ball one. This wind really did pick up. It was just a little bit breezy. Here's the 1-0 from Fisher down in the dirt, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes on Phillips. So Phillips back in waiting, the 2-0 pitch as the wind kicks up a little bit more, some gustiness. And Fisher throws in an off-speed pitch for strike one. It drops into the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike now as that wind just continues to kick up. Now we may see it let up a little bit here as these clouds pass us by. Fisher misses there. I think we got 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Up high, ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Hayden Phillips on 5 pitches. Puts a runner on first with no outs. Colton Moore to the plate now. Moore, the shortstop for the Bulldogs. And he's going to come in to hit from the left side. I'm not sure if he's a switch hitter. He played with the glove on his left hand. So he throws right, but we're going to see him bat left here. Quick move by Fisher over to first. Phillips had a pretty good lead over there after earning the leadoff walk. Boy, this wind is just about pulling my laptop off the table here. Fisher glances at Phillips. Now the pitch in there for strike one on Moore. Tough to see just where that was. It looked like outside corner to me. And the count is no balls, 1 strike on Moore. Moore, a real open stance. The throw over to first again by Fisher. Phillips taking a good lead. He dives back in safe. Moore steps back in. Again, you can see how open that stance is. And here's the pitch. In there, strike 2. Not only is it open, he's back off the plate quite a bit. So, and Fisher seeing that, he's trying to, I think he's working that outside corner. Scoreboard says 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think it's no balls, 2 strikes. Throw over to first. And again, Phillips back in safe. No score on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard here at Provo. Fisher, the delivery, foul ball just over our head. That's what we've been worried about since we decided we were going to set up here, was foul balls just like that. Tim Benson, my cameraman, he looked at me like, you see, I told you, the next one's coming about 5 feet lower. It's going to hit me in the forehead. Right. Scoreboard says 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fisher, the move to first. Sidearm delivery over there. Gets past Mitchell. Clear over into right field. Waite is there, and he'll give it to DeRue. The Outlaws not real quick about getting it in. Phillips started to head for third, but then DeRue, a throw right on target for Herford at third, and Phillips heads back to second. So the error there advances Phillips over to second base, runner in scoring position with no outs in the bottom of the first inning. And the Outlaws, again, no score here at Provo. on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Fisher looking in, glances back at Phillips. Here's the pitch. Again, another foul ball over our heads and out of play. And if you're just joining us, we're sitting right on top of the third base dugout, which gives us a view that for you watching, you don't have to look through a chain link fence. For us watching, we get a little nervous about those foul balls. Here's the pitch, misses outside, and Moore now. He's trying to confirm the count. They added 2 balls there. I don't know if the count remains even on the scoreboard, on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Fisher glances back. Phillips a short lead. Here's the 2-2. High pitch, hit down the third base line. This one's going to go foul and out of play. Hereford, well, he got over there quickly, and if that stayed in play, he'd have had a chance at the catch, but it's out of play over the fence. So the count still, after that foul ball, they added a ball to the count. Still should be 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's ball 3 down in the dirt from Fisher. So now the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. No score. Outlaws and the Provo Bulldogs, bottom of the first inning. Runner on second with no outs. Fisher trying to get that outside corner, does not get it. And so that was ball 3. Now the count is full. Confused us there on the scoreboard. 3-2. Here's the full count pitch. Inside, just misses for ball 4. And Fisher has now walked the first 2 Provo Bulldog batters. Not the way the Outlaws wanted to start this one. Braden McDonald, the catcher, will go out and have a quick word with Fisher. Settle down and throw some strikes here. Your defense is behind you. Brings Ty Atkinson, number 3 hitter, to the plate. Atkinson, the first baseman, number 31. And he's got some size. He looks more like a tight end that you'd see for playing football. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch for Atkinson, down low, ball 1 from Fisher. Fisher looking a little bit out of it right now. Get some focus and get warmed up. We have seen him a couple of times this season take an inning or 2 to really get where he wants to be. There he finds the outside corner, froze Atkinson for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs, runners on first and second. Couple of walks for the Bulldogs to reach base. Phillips, I think he saw 5 pitches, 4 balls and 1 strike. Moore, though, was able to work the count full and then walked. Atkinson now takes ball 2 down low, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike, I believe. I have to keep track of the count myself a little better because that scoreboard, they're not keeping up real well. 2 balls, 1 strike on Atkinson. Umpire just indicated the same. Outlaws trying to keep those runners close, especially Moore at second base, or Phillips rather at second. Big cut, swing and a miss, strike 2 for Atkinson. Ty Atkinson will step back in. No outs, bottom of the first with runners on first and second. Fisher glances back at Phillips there at second base, the lead. He kind of inches out, inches back. Fisher looking back in and now steps off the rubber. Just not comfortable with how things were. He's going to reset. Fisher looking in. Glances back at second again. He's real concerned about that base runner. Now he looks in. Here's the pitch. Foul down the, nope, first base line. Mitchell can't quite get to it. Tags the base after he makes stops the ball. So he gets the out at first. Now they've got a runner in a pickle. They're looking at Phillips there at third, and Moore will get back to first safely. So heads up play by Leland to keep that runner from scoring. Mitchell gets the out at first base, and we have 1 down. That'll bring Jack Rainier to the plate. Rainier, the pitcher, he's going to hit left, and we saw him throw right in the top of that first, so I can only assume he's at least throws right, hits left, maybe a switch hitter. Runners on the corners here with 1 out. Fisher, the delivery, first pitch, And now the late throw down to second base. They're trying to get Phillips to leave third base a little further than he did. He didn't bite on that little bit of trickery. And so now we have runners on second and third after Moore steals second. Rainier with 1 ball, no strike. Swings on this one, ground ball, dribbler down the third base line, foul. Fisher with, I believe, 2 balls, no strikes on Rainier. And here's the 2-0, swung on. Oh, that's the second ground bar foul ball of this at bat, so it would be 2-2 now. Thank you, Tim. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes is what the umpire just indicated. With 1 out, runners on second and third. Here's the 1-2. Fisher, that sidearm delivery, finds the strike zone. Strike 3. Rainier didn't like it. He couldn't believe it. It looked pretty low from where I'm sitting, but I'm up high on the third base dugout. It's tough to see balls and strikes from where we are, especially inside, outside. That'll bring Anthony Kilcrease, right fielder number 12, to the plate. Steps in on the right side. Fisher, quick move over to third, and the throw is way off target. Herford can't get to it. Wheels and a green light for both base runners. And the Bulldogs score 2. Hayden Phillips from third, Colton Moore from first. 2-0, you were the Provo Bulldogs. On that error, and the Outlaws with 2 errors in this first inning. Trail by 2 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Couple of unearned runs early on here. So that clears the bases with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And Anthony Kilcrease takes strike 1 outside corner. That puts us, I believe it's 0-1. Isn't that Kilcrease's first pitch? 1 ball, 2 strikes, what the scoreboard says. I don't know if that's accurate. Now we do have 2 strikes for sure as Kilcrease fouls one off out of play over the first base side. 2-0 Provo Bulldogs with the lead on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. A couple of walks early on got the Bulldogs on base. Here's Fisher. That sidearm delivery comes in way outside. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now. I believe the count. Fisher working a little more quickly now without anybody on base. Comes in up high on Kilcrease for ball 2. And that evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-0 lead for the Bulldogs on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Here's the 2-2. Swung on high, pop up out of play over the first base dugout. Way up there on the right side. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Fisher. Ground ball to the right side. DeRue comes over, scoops it up, throw to first. Got him. And that ends the inning right there with that ground out by Kilcrease. So the Outlaws, a couple of walks to lead off for Hayden Phillips, Colton Moore. They come around to score. 2 runs, no hits, 2 errors, no runners left on base. And after 1, the Outlaws trail 2-0 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Stay tuned. Second inning coming up when we come back right after this on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
Mom's onboard electronic stability control system was giving us some woes. I don't even know what that means. But he does.
Guys are all fixed and ready to go.
Expert care for your car, so you can trust in more than just your tires.
We've got the selection you need and the friendly service you deserve. Come see us today. Big O Tires, Evanston, Wyoming.
Big O Tires, the team you trust.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Castle Rock Chevrolet, your hometown dealer. Hoover Chiropractic. Don't just mask the symptoms, cure your allergies with Dr. Hoover. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at k-9radio.com.
Outlaws trailing 2-0 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard here, top of the second inning. And let's see if we can get this microphone hooked up so we can pick up a little more of the... Oh, right. That was good thinking, Tim. Unplugged it because of the wind a few minutes ago, but it's let up a little bit here. Austin Hereford leading off top of the second. And he saw ball one that come in there. I think that's the second pitch he's seen. Here's Rainier, finds the outside corner down low. And so the count, 2 balls and a strike on Hereford. Hereford steps back in and waits. Big cut, misses for strike 2. Even count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outlaws trail 2-0 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard here in the top of the second. Rainier, wind up, delivery, just misses. Must have been outside and a bit high for ball 3, and it's a full count. Hereford, third baseman, number 13 for the Outlaws, steps back in. He's leading off the top of the second. Swings on one, high fly ball into left field. Hernandez going over, down the line, makes the catch. Got a good jump on it, and just a little bit too much air underneath it, so Hereford flies out to left field, and we have 1 out here in the top of the second inning. We'll bring Griffin Mitchell to the plate. Mitchell will hit left against this right-handed pitcher, Jack Rainier. 1 out, top of the second inning. Signal from Coach Judd Kishpaw. And Mitchell steps in. Rainier winds up, and big cut, swing and a miss. Strike 1 on Mitchell. Griffin playing first base today for the Outlaws. We've got a couple sprinkles coming down now. Not enough to even slow the game down. Mitchell swings at one, down low. Rainier got him to chase that one a little bit into the dirt. And now Mitchell down 0-2 in the count. Here's the 0-2. Up high, Mitchell swings at that one. He knows he's frustrated with himself. He started to swing, wanted to hold back, and then just kind of followed through on the swing because it was too late. And Mitchell strikes out. Second strikeout of the game for Rainier. Puts Robbie Nowicki at the plate with 2 outs in the top of the second. Nowicki swings on the first one. Sharp ground ball toward the third and down to shortstop. The catch, or the throw, Colton Moore's throw from deep short is a bit off target. Atkinson had to come off the bag to try and get it. So Nowicki's going to reach on the error with 2 outs. That'll bring Hunter DeRue to the plate with a runner on first. And 2 outs for the Outlaws. DeRue, yesterday against Green River, 0 for 1. He did walk once, and he takes ball 1 there. Now the throw down to first. Boy, good strong arm by Miguel Pena, as Nowicki had taken a pretty good lead after that pitch was down in the dirt. Ball 1 for DeRue. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first for the Outlaws. Here's the pitch from Rainier up high to DeRue, ball 2. He'd love to draw a walk or get a base hit here and maybe try to come up with a run or 2 to start this second inning. Robbie Nowicki taking his lead at first. Rainier glances over his right shoulder to see him. Now the pitch, and DeRue, fooled by that off-speed pitch, out in front, misses. 2 balls, 1 strike on DeRue. DeRue steps back in. Rainier looking in. Nowicki a shorter lead now there at first, and here's the pitch. That one inside on the corner. Strike 2 for DeRue. 2 balls, 2 strikes now, 2 outs. Top of the second. Outlaws trail 2-0 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Rainier, quick move, throw to first, but Robbie Nowicki didn't have a real big lead, and he slides back in safe. Couple sprinkles coming in here. You may see those across your screen on k-9radio.com. The sun's shining. The sprinkles are coming in from the south. Here's the pitch from Rainier Nowicki heading for second. Pena makes the throw right on target, and he guns Nowicki down. So DeRue will be back at the plate with a fresh count when we start the top of the third inning. For now, though, no runs, no hits, one error, no runners left on base. The Outlaws trail 2-0 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Bottom of the second inning coming up when we come back right after this on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
Sponsors, T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car. Old West Stories and Productions. For all of your website and graphic design needs, call the marketing experts at this radio station, 789-8116. And by Old West Design, helping sports teams and businesses dress for success. Evanston. This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car. Old West Stories and Productions. For all of your website and graphic design needs, call the marketing experts at this radio station, 789-8116. And by Old West Design, helping sports teams and businesses dress for success. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com.
Trapper Denton leading off the bottom of the second inning, swings at strike one, a fastball from Ian Fisher. He just threw it right by him. Second pitch is outside, ball one. A ball and a strike on Denton. Third baseman for the Bulldogs, and now Fisher misses outside, ball two. Fisher going with that sidearm delivery quite a bit so far in this one. He's trying to figure that out a little better. Now it goes up high for ball three, and Denton with a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Fisher walked Hayden Phillips and Colton Moore to lead off the game. Both of them came around to score unearned runs. Here's the 3-1. Swung on, high fly, pop up, out of play, back over the backstop. Back into a little orchard over there across the street. We're here in Provo. Tim and I are sitting on top of the third base dugout. The Outlaws are right below us. Get a good view from here, but it gets a little scary. Now up high and inside to Denton on the full count, and Denton earns a walk. Ball four. Now a little bit more rain starting to come in. Just some light sprinkles, nothing to really worry about. As far as we can prevent that. Miguel Pena, the catcher, to the plate now. And Fisher, he's already walked 3. Throw over to first. Ooh, pretty close play, but Denton back in safe. Pena steps back in. Got a little bit of an open stance as well, coming in from the right side. That front right foot is up in the far inside corner. His left foot comes clear out almost to the back line of the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Fisher. Squares around, showing bunt. Pulls back. The pitch is out high and away for ball one. Throw down to first. Denton back in safe. 2-0 lead for the Bulldogs on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Outlaws have had a couple of base runners, but unable to make anything happen with them. Fisher the move to first, and Denton again back in safe. Denton, boy, he's got a decent lead out there at first. Here's the pitch. Pena showing bunt, squares around, pulls back, and the pitch gets past McDonald. So the pass ball, the Outlaws have had a couple of errors that helped those runners score, and now the pass ball gets Denton over to second base with no outs, a runner in scoring position for the Bulldogs. Miguel Pena back into the box, and Fisher just doesn't seem to be quite in the groove yet from the mound. Looks back at Denton. Now the pitch finds that inside corner on Pena for strike one, a ball and a strike. Fisher looking in. Steps back, looks back to the runner at second. Now the pitch way inside, another pass ball. Gets by McDonald, and that moves Denton over to third with no outs. And again, another pass ball. So Fisher, one move to first got runners advanced. A move to third or throw to third that got past Hereford advanced runners. That actually scored both runners in the first inning. And now a couple of pass balls, a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Pena. Fisher winds up, just focused, trying to get that strike. Misses outside for ball 4. And Pena takes the base. 4 walks already for Fisher against just 1 strikeout. And this is not typical Ian Fisher. Not sure what's going on here. He just doesn't quite seem focused. A courtesy runner for the Bulldogs. Pena will head for the dugout. And with no outs, runners on the corners, Donovan Minutes, number 51, designated hitter, will come in to hit the throw to first by Fisher. Nothing doing there, though, as Pena's courtesy runner just had a short lead. We'll have to figure out who that is once we can see a jersey number. Here's the pitch for Minutes. First one looks a bit high from here, but it's strike 1. No balls, 1 strike for Minutes. So Fisher looks in again. Runners on the corners here with no outs. Bottom of the second. And Fisher steps off the rubber. Something he was not quite comfortable with, and just resets things for himself. Fisher looking in, glances at the runners on the corners. Minutes squares around, showing bunt, lays it down. Fisher, the bare hand, picks it up. Throw to home is off target. Gets past McDonald. Runners will advance to second and third. The throw down to third gets past Hereford. And boy, the Outlaws just looking real sloppy here today. I'll be honest. A couple more errors just on that play. And a run score, so Trapper Denton makes it 3-0. Bulldogs, they don't have any hits yet in this one. 4 walks, 3 errors at least by the Outlaws, and now Coach Kishbaugh is going to go out and have a quick word with his team because we have Miguel Pena's runner on third. Let's see who that is, number 13. That is Tanner Dearden, rather. And so Tanner Dearden on third, running for Miguel Pena, who earned a walk. Donovan Minutes bunts, lays down the bunt, and it should have been an easy play for the Outlaws, but an error on the throw to home to try to get that runner from scoring. And Minutes over to second on the error brings J.C. Morales, number 3, to the plate. Morales, the center fielder. On deck is Corey Hernandez, the left fielder for the Bulldogs. Wind still coming in from just from like third base to first base direction. Morales takes ball 1 a bit high. So a ball and no strikes. Morales steps back in there. Fisher looking in, runners on second and third. Swing and a ground ball to the right side of the infield. There's the first base hit of the game for the Bulldogs, and that gets past Wyatt Waite in right field. That'll score 2 runs, one of them unearned. That would have scored Miguel Pena easily, or Tanner Dearden easily, but it scores Minutes as well and gets Morales over to second. Outlaws with 5 errors through less than 2 innings of the ball game. No outs, a runner on second. And Corey Hernandez coming to the plate. Hernandez, the left fielder for the Bulldogs. And it's 3-0. 5-0 on the UNO Physical Therapy scoreboard. And now a pass ball. McDonald not real, just a little bit lackadaisical about getting up to get that pitch that was high and outside. Boy. And it's ball 1. That moves Morales over to third. Not sure if the Outlaws just feeling a little bit tired after the game last night or just not real focused. The heat, maybe. I mean, it's about 15 degrees hotter than it is in Evanston. It is a warm afternoon here, about 85, 90 degrees when I got here, about 4. Hernandez steps back in. I believe his count, 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch down in the dirt, ball 3, if I'm keeping track correctly. Let's see if the umpire gives us an indication here. 3 balls, no strikes. Fisher looking back in. No outs here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch for Fisher, strike 1. Easy delivery there for Fisher as he knows Hernandez is not going to be swinging at anything. 3 balls, 1 strike now. Runner on third with no outs in the bottom of the second. The Outlaws trail 5-0 on the UNO Physical Therapy scoreboard. Here's the 3-1 way up high. Misses badly. And Hernandez walks. Runners on the corners now. That's the 5th walk of the game for Fisher. That matches the 5 errors the Outlaws have had so far. Runners on the corners with no outs. And we're back to the top of the lineup. Hayden Phillips, who led off the game with a walk, will come to the plate. On deck, Colton Moore, who also walked and scored the 2nd run of the ball game. Fisher glances at the runners, 1st and 3rd. Here's the pitch. Swung on high, pop-up, shallow left field. Leland going back, can't quite judge it. Now makes the catch. Kind of spun different directions here and there. And we have 1 out with runners on 1st and 2nd. That'll bring Colton Moore to the plate. And now Coach Lance Moore is going to have a quick word with his base runners and his batter. Calls a timeout to talk with his team. Outlaws, Fisher going to just kind of throw the ball between him and Hereford. Keep that arm warm. 5-0 Outlaws trail on the UNO Physical Therapy scoreboard. The Evanston Outlaws will open up conference play next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, June 4th, hosting the Green River Knights. It'll be a doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock. Second game scheduled for right around 6 o'clock. We'll have both those games right here on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com, this coming Wednesday. 1 out, bottom of the second. Outlaws trail 5-0 on the UNO Physical Therapy scoreboard. And Fisher with runners on the corners. Here's the pitch for Moore. Misses outside, ball 1. Now Moore, if you remember that last time up, he sets up on the back side of the batter's box. He sets up pretty far away from the plate. We'll see if Fisher can work that outside corner. He tries to. Moore lines one into left field, and Kishpaw started in, then had to go back the other way. The wind really making things challenging. Kishpaw doesn't make the play out there in left. And that scores J.C. Morales. Corey Hernandez over to second. Colton Moore on first after the error. And the Outlaws, boy, 6 errors by my count already in this one. Again, any stats I give you during the course of the ball game are stats that I keep. They're unofficial. But that makes should be 6-0 on the UNO Physical Therapy scoreboard after the run scored just then. Ty Atkinson at the plate. Line drive into right field. That's going to drop. Base hit. That'll score 1 run and just 1. Atkinson heading for second. Fisher throws down. They're going to get Atkinson at second. Atkinson getting a little greedy after the RBI single. So the base hit scores Corey Hernandez. Colton Moore over to third, and then Ty Atkinson gunned down trying to take second base. That makes it 7-0 on the UNO Physical Therapy scoreboard. First pitch for Jack Rainier, strike 1. Just 2 hits for the Bulldogs in this one, but 7 runs. Next pitch, sidearm delivery, ground ball to Leland. He'll scoop it up there. It's short. The throw is high. Error number 7. That'll score another run. Colton Moore from third, and Jack Rainier's on first after the error. Not sure the Outlaws, just not sure what's going on here. That'll bring number 12, Anthony Kilcrease, to the plate. Kilcrease grounded to second to end the first inning. On deck, Trapper Denton, who led off the inning with a walk. Throw over to first. Trying to catch Rainier over there, but he's back in diving and back in safe easily. Foul ball by Kilcrease. Fouls it off, out of play over the first base dugout. So Fisher back up onto the mound with 2 outs, trying to get out of this second inning. Outlaws trail 7-0 on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard, and Fisher almost gets Kilcrease to chase one way outside. But Kilcrease not going for it. Well, Fisher throws over to first. Rainier back in safe. Rainier taking his lead. Not a real big lead over there. And now the pitch for Kilcrease is in there for strike 2, if I'm keeping track correctly. He had that foul ball and then that one right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fisher, the 1-2 delivery. Way outside. Good dig by McDonald behind the plate on ball 2. And now all zeros on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. Whoever's running that having a little bit of trouble keeping up, it would appear. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Ground ball back up the middle, and that's going to get through the infield. Rainier stops at second. Kilcrease with the single. And he's on first. 2 outs. That'll bring Trapper Denton to the plate. He led off the inning with a walk. So Denton with runners on first and second, and the Outlaws trailing 7-0 on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. Outlaws with 7 errors in this ball game. First pitch for Denton, strike 1. That one looked good from Fisher. DeRue playing pretty deep there at second. Everybody else right about where you'd expect them in the infield. Denton, big cut, swing and a miss. Out in front of that one on the off-speed pitch by Fisher. Now he's up 0-2 in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. See if Fisher can start to settle down here. Shakes off one pitch, now takes the next one. And here's the 0-2 from Fisher. Outside, misses. McDonald really reaching out there to get to it. And that's ball 1. A ball and 2 strikes. Should be 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And a 7-0 Provo Bulldog lead on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. Here's Fisher. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Fisher ends the inning just like that. So Denton led off with a walk. He came around to score. He ends the inning with a strikeout. Fisher's second of the ball game. I had 5 runs on 3 hits, 5 errors, and 2 runners left on base for the Bulldogs, who lead 7-0 on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. We'll see if the Outlaws can show some composure, pull it together, and fight their way back into this one. We'll be back with the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Hunter DeRue, Wyatt Waite, and then to the top of the lineup for the Outlaws when we come back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Telegram to good health. Click on the telegram at k-9radio.com. UNTA Physical Therapy. You have a choice of where you can get your treatment. Walmart of Evanston. Save money, live better. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at k-9radio.com. This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Davis Chiropractic, traditional chiropractor, traditional values with flexible payment plans. Aspen Grove Nursery, your full-service nursery. Uinta Physical Therapy, comprehensive assessment and treatment programs for your individual needs. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at k-9radio.com.
Hunter DeRue leading off the top of the third for the Outlaws, who trail 8-0 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. And DeRue, his first pitch, he swung at and missed for strike one. The Bulldogs. Now DeRue hits one into deep shortstop spot. And what a play by the shortstop. My goodness. Colton Moore backhands it, throws going back toward left field. The throw is a bit off target, but Atkinson, great awareness there at first. Well, that's not even Atkinson at first base anymore. That's number 53, who is... Well, I don't have a 53 on here. That maybe Aaron Hernandez. He's listed as 40 or 52 there at first base. Either way, a great play, and that gets Hunter DeRue at first. Brings Wyatt Waite to the plate. Waite takes ball one down low. So here's the 1-0 pitch for Waite. Up high and inside. Waite ducked down like it was going to come over his head, and it curved back into the middle over the plate for strike one. Rainier has shut down the Outlaws so far. Waite. Here's the 1-2, or the 1-1 inside for ball two. 2 balls, 1 strike. Coach Kishpaw just saying, hey, hit the ball. Let's hit it. Let's hit the ball. 2 balls and a strike on Wyatt Waite. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outlaws just 1 base hit in this one so far. It was Tucker Leland, and that might have been an error that he reached on. Here's Waite. Swung on and tips it back to the backstop. Count remains even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wind has calmed down just a little bit. It's still coming in from left field. If you're watching, you can see that scoreboard right to the right side of that that Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard on your screen. There's a flag, American flag, you can see blowing in the wind. Here's the 2-2 to Waite. Swings up high at one. He misses it, but the ball gets clear away from Pena. He goes down, chases it clear back at the screen. Waite just not real heads up. He kind of was frustrated with himself and didn't head for first. He probably would have made it if he'd gotten right on his horse and headed down that way, but Pena guns him down on that loose ball, and so that's 2 outs. That'll get us back to the top of the lineup, and Braden McDonald, he hit one well, a sharply hit ball back to the shortstop in the first inning, and now grounds this one off his foot, a dead ball. For strike 1 against Braden McDonald. Catcher for the Outlaws today. The Outlaws trailing 8-0 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. And it's a warm afternoon here in Provo. It's a hot afternoon in Provo. Let me rephrase that. We're sitting up on a roof. It's like I feel like we're roofing up here, Tim. It's extra heat up here on the top of this roof. McDonald swing and miss. And that's, I believe, strike 1. Or strike 2. He had that foul ball off his foot earlier. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, I believe, is the count. Again, if you're just joining us on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard, Outlaws trail 8-0. They've given up, Fisher's just allowed 3 hits, but he's walked 5. And the Outlaws have 7 errors in the game. And now Braden McDonald swinging a miss, strike 3. Rainier strikes him out. And the Bulldogs ace is showing his mettle. He's struck out 4 Outlaws who get no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Outlaws trail 8-0 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Bottom of the third coming up when we come back right after this on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Davis Chiropractic, traditional chiropractor, traditional values with flexible payment plans. Aspen Grove Nursery, your full-service nursery. Uinta Physical Therapy, comprehensive assessment and treatment programs for your individual needs. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com.
I'm a 75-year-old woman who had a low back surgery. After surgery, I had a lot of pain in my left leg. My doctor ordered physical therapy, and I chose Mark Brinkerhoff. He gave me exercises that I could tolerate, and now I have no pain, and I can walk as I always did. Mark seems to be very knowledgeable and experienced. I am very happy with my results.
Welcome back to Provo here on a hot afternoon in Utah Valley. Ryan Steinekert here with my cameraman Tim Bettinson. It's a nice afternoon. You can see looking down south toward the Nephi and Payson area down that way. We've got some rain clouds. Getting some rain down that way. We had a few sprinkles come through about an inning ago. But right now, not much cloud cover, and it's a hot afternoon. The wind has let up quite a bit. Bulldogs will lead off with Miguel Pena here in the bottom of the third, and he swings and misses for strike one. Fisher's still in there on the mound. It's almost like he just hasn't quite gotten into his form yet in this ball game. He's walked 5, allowed just 3 hits, but 8 runs, and I think all of those unearned. Misses that one for ball 1, so a ball and a strike. Pena awaits. Here's the pitch. Fisher pops it up high. This one's straight up. McDonald might have a chance at it. He moves over, and he had it and popped out of the catcher's mitt. That umpire, there's a little bit of contact as McDonald trying to get the helmet off and get over to make that play. And now McDonald's shaking his head knowing he should have had that, but missed an opportunity. So that'll count for strike 2. Should be 1 ball, 2 strikes by my count on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Outlaws trail 8-0. We'll see if we can get it out of this inning real quick without too much damage. Miguel Pena walked in the second and came around to score. Now swings and just gets one off the end of the bat back to the backstop. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes now is what the scoreboard says. I think we've only got 1 ball though. Oh, it is 2-2. My mistake. Umpire just verified that for us. Here's the 2-2. Off speed, drops in there. Strike 3 on Pena. And Fisher picks up his 3rd strikeout of the day. That'll bring Donovan Minutes to the plate. Minutes reached on an error in the second. It was going to be a fielder's choice. There was a runner coming in from third, and Fisher tried to go to home to get that lead runner. First pitch for Minutes is high for ball 1. 1 out in the bottom of the third. And here's the 1-0 pitch for Minutes in there. He fooled Minutes. And it started to step out, and then it dropped in for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fisher winds up. Here's the 1-1. Misses outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Minutes steps back in. Here's the 2-1 from Fisher, way up high, ball 3. Ball 3. 1 down, bottom of the third. Outlaws have yet to really get any good base hits in this one. Here's the 3-1, and that misses inside for ball 4. Oh, Minutes takes his base, and that's the 6th walk of the game for Fisher. All of those who've walked so far have come around to score for the Bulldogs. 1 out, and that'll bring J.C. Morales to the plate. An RBI single in the 2nd. Last time he was up. Fisher the throw over to first. Minutes back in safe. But he had just a fairly short lead over there at first. Fisher trying to keep him close. Minutes inches out. Again, that short lead. And here's the pitch. Strike 1 for Morales. Good looking pitch from Fisher there. See if he's getting focused in a little bit more. 1 out, bottom of the 3rd. Again, Outlaws trailing 8-0 on the Winter Physical Therapy scoreboard. Here's the throw over to first, and again, just not quite in time. I think Fisher's more than trying to keep Minutes close. He thinks he has got Minutes beat with quickness. He thinks he can beat him on a quick move over there. Pitch to Morales outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fisher glances at first. Now here's the 1-1. Strike 2, good looking pitch there, off speed, and Morales he started to swing, then held back and let it go. 1 ball, 2 strikes, I believe. Is that what the ump just said too, Tim? Here's the 1-2, way up high and inside. Ball 2, so the count is even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outlaws have struggled, been a bit sloppy here. 7 errors through 2 innings of work so far. And now the pitch up high and inside, that makes it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on J.C. Morales, center fielder. 1 for 1 in this game, an RBI single in the 2nd. He also scored in that 2nd inning. And here's the full count pitch, strike 3. Morales wanted the walk. He wanted ball 4, but it catches the outside corner. And Fisher, now with 4 strikeouts in the ball game, will face Corey Hernandez, number 22, and left fielder for the Bulldogs. Hernandez walked and scored in the 2nd. We've had a lot of those walked and scored so far in this one for the Bulldogs. He swings at one down in the dirt. That hit the dirt just barely, right at the tip, that back tip of the plate. Fisher fooled Hernandez on that one. Fisher glances at first. Minutes taking a little bit more of a lead than we'd seen earlier. And now the pitch, Hernandez dribbles down this near side, near third baseline. Again, if you're just joining us here on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com, Tim and I are sitting on top of the third base dugout. We have a great view from up here with no chain link fence in front of us, but we're putting our very lives in our hands with many straight foul balls. Here's the 0-2 pitch, misses outside, ball 1. Outlaws have had 7 errors in this game, and Fisher has walked 6. I think he's been a little tentative, not sure what to expect out of these 4A Utah batters. Hernandez pops this one up over the first base dugout. It bounces. See Tim, right, see where that bounced? When I was setting up before the game here on the third base dugout, Tim goes, "Why over here?" And I said, because there are going to be more right-handed hitters swinging late and hitting it that way than left-handers hitters swinging it late. That would have hit me right on the top of the head. So, see, we're playing the numbers by setting up on the third base dugout. It worked out there. Watch this next one come hit me in the face. Here's the 1-2, down low in the dirt. And it's ball 2. Hernandez let that one go. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hernandez with 2 outs. Fisher struck out Trapper Denton, struck out Miguel Pena, then walked Donovan Minutes, then struck out J.C. Morales. Minutes on first. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Hernandez, must have been just off the plate outside. And Braden McDonald tried to frame it. He fooled me. I would have called that strike 3, but the ump a much better view than I have. Full count. Here's the 3-2. Up high, ball 4. Strikeout, walk, strikeout, walk. And if the pattern holds true so far in this inning, we'll see if Fisher can strike out Hayden Phillips. Leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs. He walked in the first and scored. Pop out to short in the second. It was in shallow left field, and Tucker Leland went back there to make the play for the Outlaws. He steps in. Hayden Phillips does. with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Bulldogs leading 8-0 on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. Here's the first pitch for Phillips, up high, ball 1. Second baseman, number 1, Hayden Phillips for the Bulldogs. Again, 0 for 1 in this one, with a walk and a pop out to short. Here's the pitch. He pops this one straight up in the air. McDonald going over. It's going to drift, and hit again on top of the top of the first base dugout. So that'll count for strike 1, a ball and a strike on Phillips. Bulldogs with 2 runs, bottom of the first, 6 more in the bottom of the second. They lead 8-0 on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. They have not been hitting the ball extremely well, just 3 base hits in the ball game, all 3 of them singles, but they're taking advantage of 6 walks and 7 outlaw errors. Fisher misses on that one. Down low for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike on Phillips. Here's the 2-1. Phillips fouls this one back, and that evens us up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Down here in Provo, we had some real wind kicking up for a little while. Almost blew my laptop off the table. Knocked Tim's drink over. But it's let up quite a bit. It's got a real pleasant afternoon right now. Here's the 2-2. Misses outside, down low. Runner headed for third, and McDonald guns him down. Minutes. Not sure what he was thinking there. He was trying to steal third base, and McDonald, heads up play from behind the plate, just throws him out. Hereford was right there, and the Outlaws get out of that inning with no damage done. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. So Hayden Phillips will be back up to start the bottom of the 4th, but in the top of the 4th, it'll be Ian Fisher, Tucker Leland, and Will Kishpaw. We'll see if the Outlaws can get something going here. Top of the 4th inning coming up when we come back right after this on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. The Casey Kukert Allstate Agency. For all of your insurance needs, auto, home, boat, and recreational vehicles, see Casey Kukert, your Allstate agent. By Dirty Harry's Pet Wash. Clean house, clean car, clean clothes, why not a clean pet? Bath time can be magical. Make a splash today. Veterans are free at Dirty Harry's Pet Wash in the Monkey Shines Mall. Evanston Outlaws Baseball. Online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com.
Outlaws trailing 8-0 on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. Top of the 4th inning here coming up, and Evanston with the heart of the lineup. So they're going to hope for put together something here, but they're going to have to face a new pitcher. Jack Rainier heads over to first base, and in the pregame interview with Coach Lance Moore, he said, Jack, we know what we've got out of Jack Rainier. We need to develop a number 2, a number 3 pitcher, and we'll see what they get out of Ty Atkinson moving over from first base. Outlaws with Ian Fisher, Tucker Leland, and then Will Kishpaw coming to the plate. Watching the Hot Shot Cam right now, brought to you by Perry Brothers Trucking and Ellingford Brothers Incorporated, proud sponsors of the Evanston Outlaws here on K-9radio.com. They also sponsored the Evanston Red Devils throughout the football, volleyball, and basketball seasons, and the Rich Rebels throughout those same seasons during the school year. So, proud sponsors of Perry Brothers Trucking and Ellingford Brothers Incorporated. 8-0 on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. First pitch from Atkinson down low for Fisher, ball 1. Fisher, just his second at bat, grounded out to second in the first inning. His first at bat, ground ball down up the right side, and that's going to get through. Right fielder will come in and make a high throw. Anthony Kilcrease trying to throw Fisher out at first, and had a chance, but the throw was off target. So Fisher leads off with a single, and if the Outlaws are going to get something going, that's exactly what they needed to do to lead off this top of the 4th. Will Kishpaw on deck now as Tucker Leland steps into the batter's box. Fisher a good lead at first, and Pena seeing that takes ball 1, and fakes a throw down to first. Leland, ball one up high on him, so now he'll step back in with a ball and no strikes. Top of the fourth inning, Outlaws trail 8-0 on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. Here's Atkinson. Fisher heading for second, swing and a miss. Fisher in, safe. The throw was off target. So Fisher didn't even dive. Didn't even slide into the bag. He's in standing up with a stolen base. Tucker Leland. 2 balls, 1 strike, I believe. Here's the 2-1 down in the dirt. Good dig. Pena real active that back there from behind the plate, and that's one of the things that Coach Lance Moore mentioned about about his team, is that he's excited about Pena, a real good defensive player, great catcher behind the plate. And we see that right there just then. Atkinson winds up, glances back to second. Now here's the pitch. Leland swinging a miss, and that puts us full count, I believe. Scoreboard says 2 balls and a strike, but I'm thinking that's 3 balls, 2 strikes on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. Leland steps back in. Atkinson looking back at Fisher. Fisher a good lead at second base. And here's the pitch from Atkinson. Fisher heading for second on the hit and run. It's the line driving to second base into right field. That's going to score about more into center field. Leland is rounding second, and Coach Kishpak giving him the green light, saying, get down, get down. Here's the throw. Tucker Leland beats the throw, an RBI triple for Leland. That scores Ian Fisher from second, and what a hit by Tucker Leland. Boy, he poked that right past the center fielder, J.C. Morales, clear almost to the fence. And Leland with the, as I mentioned, the RBI triple. That's got to be his second or third triple of this season. We saw him hit a triple a week ago Thursday when the Outlaws played Green River. And the Outlaws now get their first run on the scoreboard. No outs. Will Kishpat to play with a runner on third. And Austin Herford on deck for Evanston. Kishpat waits. Here's the pitch. Swings on it. Pops it up high and out of play over the backstop. Kishpat. I mentioned how Leland did last week against Green River. Kishpat went 3 for 3 in that ball game. A week ago, couple runs, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Last night, though, 0 for 3 against the Knights. Here's the 0-1 inside down low. Wow. He called that a strike. That was down from here. That looked like ankle level. And Kishpat, he takes his time to come almost clear down here to the third base dugout. He'll walk off a little frustration about that call, I would imagine. That looked real low. Kishpat steps back in, down 0-2 in the count. Atkinson looks at Leland on third, now winds up. Fisher chasing one, strike 3. And he's real frustrated with himself. And without a doubt, some of that frustration is about that called strike 2. So 1 down, top of the 4th inning. Scoreboard says 3rd, but it is the 4th. Austin Herford at the plate, swings on one, pops it high down the right field line, right at the fence, just out of play. Lucky because Jack Rainier was right there. So Herford dodges a little bullet there, and he's just down 0-1 in the count. Outlaws with a couple of hits to start this 4th inning, but they trail 8-1 on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. Tucker Leland, an RBI triple moments ago, has him on third base. Austin Herford with an 0-1, high fly ball into shallow center field. Is this going to be enough for Leland to tag? He's going to try it. The throw comes in, and it's knocked down by Rainier. He came in and just, boy, if he'd have let that go, we would have had a real close play. But since he knocked it down, Leland scores. We'll give Austin Herford the sac fly. And the Outlaws, with a couple of runs on the board now, trail 8-2 on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. Griffin Mitchell to the plate. Mitchell struck out in the 2nd. And the base is cleared now. Atkinson looking in. Mitchell from the left side. We'll see what Atkinson does against a left-handed hitter. Mitchell chases one down low and in the dirt. he's just kind of being passive in his hitting at this point. We'll see if he can be a little more aggressive, a little smarter about his swings. Here's the 0-1, ball one outside. Good eye there by Mitchell. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dark clouds down to the south, but I'm thinking those are going to pass us by down south. Outlaws trail 8-2 on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. Here's the 1-1. Mitchell swings and gets a piece of it, fouls it back. 8-2 on the UNA Physical Therapy scoreboard. Outlaws have scored a couple runs in this top of the 4th inning. We've had whoever's running that scoreboard has had some troubles all day long, and they're having trouble right now. Strike 3 called on Mitchell up at chest level. That looked high to me, but the umpire, again, has a much better view than I have. Atkinson strikes out his second outlaw of the day. That's 6 strikeouts of outlaw batters, but a couple of runs scored for Evanston. You see Will Kishpaw right down here on the left side of your screen. He's saying that pitch was down. That was golf level for me. I mean, you could have put that on a tee, and I could have brought out my 3-wood to try and hit that one. That's called strike 2. Let's move past that. Outlaws with 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, no runners left on base. Make it 8-2 as we head for the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll be back with it right after this on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of the Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Ogden's Flooring and Design of Evanston. Everything you need to update the flooring, cabinets, and countertops in your home. Rocky Mountain Massage. Chronic pain management, stress reduction, and overall sense of well-being. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com.
Mom's onboard electronic stability control system was giving us some woes. I don't even know what that means, but he does.
You guys are all fixed and ready to go.
Expert care for your car, so you can trust in more than just your tires.
We've got the selection you need and the friendly service you deserve. Come see us today. Big O Tires, Evanston, Wyoming.
Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Outlaws trailing 8-2. And leadoff hitter, Hayden Phillips at the plate for the Provo Bulldogs. Here's the pitch, ground ball, sharply hit. Leland dives, can't quite get there, and Phillips with a single to lead off the bottom of the 4th. He's now 1 for 2 in the ball game. He walked in the first, popped out to short in the 2nd inning. That's just the 4th hit of the ball game for the Bulldogs, but again, the Outlaws with 7 errors so far in this one, and 6 walks. That brings Colton Moore to the plate. Moore takes ball 1 outside from Fisher. Moore 0 for 1 rather. Walked in the first, reached on an error in the 2nd. He scored both times, 1st and 2nd innings. Pitch, good one there from Fisher on the outside corner. Strike 1, so a ball and a strike on Colton Moore. On deck, Ty Atkinson for the Bulldogs. Here's the pitch to Fisher inside. Again, McDonald trying to frame that and looked good from here, but my view is definitely inferior to the umpires. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hayden Phillips the lead at first. As he inches out, Fisher throws over there, just about got him. A fairly close play, but Phillips back in safe. Fisher looks over there. Here's the 2-1 for Moore. Inside, strike 2. Moore can't believe it. That looked inside. He scooted back, kind of slid back to try and get out of the way of that pitch. And he's already way outside in the box. Now he fouls one right over our heads to stay alive. The count now 2-2, I believe. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see if the umpire confirms that for me. Moore steps back in. A runner on first, no outs. And the throw over there, ooh, real close again, but Phillips back in safe. He's been testing Fisher each time he's gotten on base today. Now he's headed on what looked like a hit and run. And Moore hits it off his foot and down the first base line. So still a 2-2 count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the scoreboard got the score correctly now. They got those 2 runs for the Outlaws in the top of the 4th. 8 runs total for the Bulldogs. So 8-2 is your score on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. Here's the 2-2. Moore swings and misses, strike 3, and Fisher strikes out his 5th Bulldog of the game. Brings Ty Atkinson to the plate, grounded out to first in the first, an RBI single in the second. One of just a couple of Bulldogs that hasn't scored yet today. Atkinson steps in from the right side, number 31, started at first base in this ball game, but pitched in that last top of this 4th inning. Takes ball 1 outside. Fisher back up on the mound. Hayden Phillips at first reached with a single to lead off this first inning. Now the throw over there, and again Phillips back in safe. Fisher, great awareness of, even with his back to the base runner, he's got good awareness of when that base runner is kind of inching out. Here's the pitch for Atkinson, strike 1. Looked a bit high from here, but it's in there. Makes it 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Outlaws trail 8-2 on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. Fisher looking in. Glances back toward Phillips at first. Here's the 1-1. Down in the dirt. Skips past McDonald. He can't even find it. It's clear back to the screen. Phillips around. Boy, he could have had third if he just hustled right around second. Pass ball there. It's about the 4th pass ball of the game. Moves Hayden Phillips over to second. Wind kicking up a little bit more here. You can hear that in the microphone. So Atkinson with 2 balls, 1 strike. Hayden Phillips on second. That's the runner in scoring position. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch, 2-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Atkinson, trying to get that one. Good fastball by Fisher. Just threw it right by him. Atkinson was well behind it. Fisher winds up. Here's the 2-2 off speed. Grounder down the third base line through the glove of Herford. And Kishpak comes up gunning to try and get Hayden Phillips at third. Phillips stays at third, and Ty Atkinson, we're going to say a single. Herford, well, I don't know what happened there. He's slow to get up. I don't need to describe that, do I? You can see it, right? Must have been just incidental from Phillips as he came in, sliding into third base. But boy, Herford took it pretty good. Over on the fringe of the infield there, the fringe of the outfield. He's going to be okay, though. Phillips over there kind of grinning like, that's my bad. Right? 8-2. Outlaws with the lead, or the trailing 8-2 rather, on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. And Jack Rainier to the plate. A strikeout in the first, reached on an error in the second. So he's 0 for 2. Runners on the corners here with 1 out. Fisher, the move over to first. And a pinch, or a courtesy runner for Atkinson, who's pitching. Here's the first pitch to Rainier. Outside, misses ball 1. Tanner Dearden, again, that courtesy runner. We saw him run earlier for catcher Miguel Pena. Fisher winds up, pitch, and a line drive into left center field. Takes a funny hop out there. That'll score 1 run. Hayden Phillips. Dearden will stay at second on the RBI single by Rainier. So a couple more hits here in the bottom of the fourth. And the Bulldogs extend their lead back to 8 runs, 9-1 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Fisher now will face Anthony Kilcrease, right fielder, number 12. He's 1 for 2, a single in the second, ground out to second in the first. With 2 runners on and 1 out, Kilcrease takes ball 1 outside. Those dark clouds from the south kind of moving north right now toward us. Bottom of the fourth inning, 9-2 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Outlaws trail. Here's the pitch. He pokes at it, ground ball. Leland will throw to first and throws off target. It was a slow ground ball, so he didn't have a chance at a double play. Coach Kishbaugh comes out of the dugout to give Leland a little bit of coaching there. So runners advance, bases loaded on the 8th error of the ball game by the Outlaws. And that brings Trapper Denton to the plate. He walked in the second and scored, struck out to end the second inning as well. This will be his 3rd at-bat of the ball game. He's 0 for 1. Swings on the first one, high pop-up into shallow center field. Coming up to make the catch is Robbie Nowicki. That was shallow enough that all the runners stayed. Good job by Nowicki to get in and make that catch. Boy, showing some good speed. A little bit of a bullet dodged there with the bases loaded. If that drops, that scores at least 1 run. That'll bring Miguel Pena to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Walked and scored in the second, struck out in the 3rd inning to lead off the 3rd. He steps in and waits. Fisher winds up. The pitch is high and inside, ball 1. Fisher struck out 5 so far in this one. And as I mentioned a moment ago, Pena, one of them. Pena, the catcher, steps back in. Here's the 1-0 from Fisher. Misses high, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the fourth, 9-2. The Bulldogs lead on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Fisher with the bases loaded. 2 outs. Here's Pena. Line drive into center field. Nowicki going back. No, not going back. He thought it was going to drop. It did not. Pena is going to get 1 run scored, 2 RBI, 3 RBIs on the double. Just about clears the bases on the base hit. 3 more runs score, makes it 12-2 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Nowicki just misjudged that ball and the way it was hit. It just carried. Miguel Pena showing some power there. That was on a rope, and it, hit out there just about 25 feet short of the fence. Never was more than 25 feet above the ground. That'll bring Donovan Minutes to the plate, and he'll take ball 1 down low. 12-2 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. 4 runs on 3 hits so far in this 4th inning. And again, the errors just costly for the Outlaws, as they should have been out of the inning 2 batters ago. Here's Minutes, ground ball to the right side. DeRue goes over, makes a nice scoop, throws it to first, and gets Minutes out on the 4-3 ground ball. That'll end the 4th inning. The Outlaws trailing 12-2 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. That's 8 errors in the ball game for the Outlaws, and they trail by 10, 12-2 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. The Outlaws will be at numbers 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Robbie Nowicki, Hunter DeRue, and Wyatt Waite when we come back right after this on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw baseball sponsors. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Castle Rock Chevrolet, your hometown dealer. Hoover Chiropractic. Don't just mask the symptoms, cure your allergies with Dr. Hoover. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at k-9radio.com. This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car. Old West Stories and Productions. For all of your website and graphic design needs, call the marketing experts at this radio station, 789-8116. And by Old West Design, helping sports teams and businesses dress for success. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at k-9radio.com.
Outlaws trailing 12-2 on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. One of the Outlaws, as they were coming into the dugouts, shouted to his teammates, one run if we want to keep playing. We got to score. They're going to end this one, the 10-run rule, if the Outlaws can't score something within the next 3 outs. They've got Robbie Nowicki, Hunter Drew, and Wyatt Waite. On the mound now is number 2, Colton Moore for the Bulldogs. A real Submariner delivery, and misses for ball 1 to Nowicki. We see that funny delivery sometimes, and we're going to see it out of Moore on the mound. Here's the 1-0. Nowicki grounds it down the first base line. He was late on it. Made good contact, but foul. So Jack Rainier still at first, and I believe Atkinson might not be in the ball game at this point. Pena still behind the dish. Here's the 1-1 for Nowicki. And that misses. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 12-2 on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. Outlaws trailing by 10. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch from Moore. Outside, ball 3. Lance Moore, the coach for the Bulldogs, wanting to see what he has at pitcher after Rainier. Nowicki grounds this one a high bounce off. It almost sounded like it bounced off the plate. Moore comes over, grabs it, throw to first, and we have 1 down. It must not have been off the plate, because if that's what happened, it would have been a dead ball. Hunter Drew to the plate now with 1 out. Wyatt Waite on deck. So the Outlaws with 2 outs to try and score a run and keep this game going. Trailing by 10 in the top of the 5th on the UNF Physical Therapy scoreboard. Wow, this one comes in behind DeRue. He just ducks forward, and it goes clear back to the backstop. Colton Moore looking in, winds up. Here's the pitch down in the dirt to DeRue. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Hunter DeRue. DeRue so far in this one, 0 for 1. He grounded out to short in the 3rd. On deck, Wyatt Waite. Waite 0 for 1. He struck out in the 3rd. DeRue with a 2-0 count. 2 balls, no strikes. Moore winds up the delivery up high and inside for ball 3. And somehow as Pena went to throw that back to his pitcher, it just slipped out of his hands over toward the first base dugout. Wind picking up a little bit here again, and some dark clouds coming up over the top of us. We may have a few more sprinkles here in a few minutes. Moore winds up. Here's the 3-0 to DeRue. Ball 4 down low, and the DeRue gets on base. The Outlaws staying alive with 1 out, top of the 5th inning. Wyatt Waite to the plate now. And again, as I mentioned, Hunter DeRue on first. Braden McDonald on deck. Waite steps in. Moore. Not much concern for DeRue at first. Pitches, and Waite fouls it off out of play over the first base dugout. Pretty good contact. That ball went a long ways, but just need to straighten that thing out. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. Outlaws trail. Moore, the throw to first. DeRue back in easily. You don't want to test him too much, but if that's the quickest move he's got, DeRue can inch out a little further. DeRue does, and now here's the delivery from Moore. Waite squares around, showing bunt, pulls back, and or kind of reached out there and didn't get it for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes on Waite. So now he's going to choke up and try to get one in play. DeRue taking his lead. Moore, a brief glance over there. And now the windup, the pitch. And Waite hits it right at first base. The catch is made. Rainier steps on the bag. That's it. DeRue had no chance. The hit went right to Rainier at first. He makes the double play. And I believe that's going to do it. The Outlaws just couldn't get things going today. Far too many errors. Those first 2 innings real sloppy, as Evanston had 7 errors in the first 2 innings, including 5 in the second, and a final score of 12-2 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. Evens up the Outlaws' overall record this season at 7-7 going into conference play beginning Wednesday, June 4th, hosting the Green River Knights. Stay tuned. We'll have your post-game show coming up right after this. 12-2 is your final score on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard, and we'll be back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Telegram to good health. Click on the telegram at K-9radio.com. Uinta Physical Therapy. You have a choice of where you can get your treatment. Walmart of Evanston. Save money, live better. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com. This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Davis Chiropractic. Traditional chiropractor, traditional values with flexible payment plans. Aspen Grove Nursery, your full-service nursery. Uinta Physical Therapy, comprehensive assessment and treatment programs for your individual needs. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com. This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. The Casey Kukert Allstate Agency for all of your insurance needs, auto, home, boat, and recreational vehicles. See Casey Kukert, your Allstate agent. By Dirty Harry's Pet Wash. Clean house, clean car, clean clothes, why not a clean pet? Bath time can be magical. Make a splash today. Veterans are free at Dirty Harry's Pet Wash in the Monkey Shines Mall. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com.
And now, Kay Rossiter talks about her physical therapy experience working with Mark Brinkerhoff at Uinta Physical Therapy.
I had both of my knees replaced at the same time a little bit over a year ago, and Mark was my therapist, and he put me through some really strange things, but it must have worked because I was back at work in less than 3 weeks, and when I went for my 6-month checkup to my surgeon, I was at a point where I should have been at a year. I would recommend Mark Brinkerhoff and Uinta Physical Therapy to anyone.
Was going.
Coach, maybe you don't even want to talk about today's game. It was a bit of a rough game, those first couple innings against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all.
All right, well, thanks for joining me. What happened? I mean, you know, this is a game, and I know that Coach Moore is excited about this possibly becoming something that you guys do traditionally, and they'll come up and play in Evanston, and you'll play a lot of times, hopefully, throughout the future, but not a great start for Evanston versus Provo.
No, and you're right. We do want it to continue on and play them, 2 or 4 times a year. That'd be great. We'd like them to come up. They are going to come up. We don't know when, but they'll come up this year. That was an outlaw baseball. I think we had a lot of nerves with a couple of the kids, and then that just kind of trickled down. We had some young kids come with us because we're down. I mean, we have 5 starters that aren't here.
Right.
So, and that's no excuse, because fundamentally we're typically good. Maybe we've been too lax on them. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. We can't have our 4-batter strike out twice. I got Tucker. Tucker's looking good. He's he's shooting the ball.
Yeah,
he made a bonehead move over here at short. He should have turned a double play instead of. I don't know what he was thinking there, but every one of them had a mistake. So I'm not going to pin it on one.
Do you feel? And yesterday you said as soon as you got out of the vehicle, you saw the team was flat. Was there anything like that today?
A little bit, but I didn't think it was quite as bad.
Yeah. Where would you put this team on a level of Wyoming American Legion baseball? This Provo Bulldog team.
I can tell you, if we played like we did up in Jackson when we played Jackson, when we played Green River, that score should have been reversed.
Okay.
So, like I say, 5 earned runs. We had 2 earned runs. Those were good. We got thrown out. Anyway, we can compete with them any day.
Yeah.
Just it's 2 bad games in a row. Hopefully we're not in a slump, because we got a game on Wednesday.
Wednesday, you got 2 that starting conference play, and hopefully you got the bad ones out of the way, right?
I'm hoping so.
Knock on some wood again, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's the wood.
That's what you told me last time.
Yeah,
so.
I know it.
So tell me a little bit more. I mean, you've played Green River, 7 times already this year. You know what you're going to see out of them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We're going to end up seeing Hanks. Hanks is their number 1. And then I don't know if they're Munoz, I say his name. He'll probably be their other starter. So
okay.
I'm guessing that's who we're going to face. We're going to obviously have Ian throwing. Ian ended up throwing 90 tonight. I didn't want to go that far. I wanted to go about 80, but I let him finish. And then we'll probably go with McDonald. Either McDonald or I don't know. We'll just see.
See how things go.
Yeah. Might throw Richens. We'll just see. But Ian's going to get one of those games.
Are you thinking about changing anything up in the couple of days of practice leading up to Wednesday's game to try and get out of this 2-game just whatever, I don't know what you call it?
Yeah, we need to hit the ball more. We need to practice our base running. We need to practice outfielding. We need to practice everything. So, I guess we'll go through every drill instead of just one drill a night.
Yeah. Any positives you can take from the game tonight?
Tucker hit well.
Tucker did. Ian walked a few too many, but I mean, he did have some good moments.
Yeah, he did. He those kids, you know what? That's a disciplined bunch of kids.
Yeah.
They're going to hit the ball no matter what. You got a kid like him. Now, if we could have thrown possibly Hunter, or we were actually just sitting there talking, if we could have stayed in the game, we were going to throw Griffin Mitchell.
Oh.
And way off, set it and see if they are really that disciplined. But they were disciplined.
Yeah.
They made him work. I mean, what did he get? Full counts on 10 different times?
Yeah, a lot of times.
So, yeah, he worked hard. So.
Yeah. Well, as always, I appreciate your time coming up, and we'll see you Wednesday. Good luck against the Knights.
Thanks.
All right. That's Coach Judd Kishbaugh here on the postgame show. And stay tuned. We'll have more of the postgame show coming up right after this on the Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw Baseball on the Big Dog, K-9radio.com.
This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Davis Chiropractic, traditional chiropractor, traditional values with flexible payment plans. Aspen Grove Nursery, your full-service nursery. Uinta Physical Therapy, comprehensive assessment and treatment programs for your individual needs. Evanston Outlaws Baseball, online on KNYN, the Big Dog at K-9radio.com. This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. The Casey Kukert Allstate Agency for all of your insurance needs, auto, home, boat, and recreational vehicles. See Casey Kukert, your Allstate agent. By Dirty Harry's Pet Wash. Clean house, clean car, clean clothes, why not a clean pet? Bath time can be magical. Make a splash today. Veterans are free at Dirty Harry's Pet Wash in the Monkey Shines Mall. Evanston Outlaws Baseball. Online on KNYN, the Big Dog at k-9radio.com. This Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaws American Legion Baseball is being brought to you by these Outlaw Baseball sponsors. Ogden's Flooring and Design of Evanston. Everything you need to update the flooring, cabinets, and countertops in your home. Rocky Mountain Massage. Chronic pain management, stress reduction, and overall sense of well-being. Evanston Outlaws Baseball. Online on KNYN, the Big Dog at k-9radio.com.
Twelve to 2, your final here on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. The Outlaws blown out by the Provo Bulldogs, and you heard Coach Kishpaw say it just a minute ago. They just didn't play well. They came out a little bit flat, and way too many errors. 5 in 1 inning. The second inning real rough for the Outlaws, giving up 12 runs total to the Provo Bulldogs. Now, there's a team that is well disciplined, and they just finished up their high school season, so they're just coming off a full season already. So they're kind of in the full swing of things. But these teams will play again a little bit later on this season. Looking ahead to what's coming up for the Outlaws, it's the opening of conference play on Wednesday, June 4th, hosting the Green River Knights. We'll have both those games for you right here on the Big Dog, k-9radio.com. First one scheduled for 4 p.m. at Evanston, the American Legion ball field there at Evanston High School. And then the second game will follow right about 6 o'clock. So make sure to tune in for that one. If you can't make it to the field, you can watch it right here on k-9radio.com this coming Wednesday. Now, following that, the Outlaws will have about a week off, and then they'll take on Rock Springs, hosting Rock Springs, also at Evanston. That's another conference doubleheader with games at 5 and 7 p.m. So that's what's coming up the next couple of weeks for the Outlaws. Coming up this next week for some other local teams, the Rich Rodeo Club will be at the state finals in Heber City, Utah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of this coming week. So good luck to those who are competing from the Rich Rodeo Club. Other than that, we're kind of down to the end of high school sports and the local sports for Evanston and Rich County. We got, of course, Evanston Outlaw Baseball coming up next week. Well, again, our final score, 12-2 on the Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard. This has been the Evanston Outlaws post-game show here on the Big Dog in Country, k-9radio.com. This has been a sports production and sports broadcast of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Once again, our final score on today's Uinta Physical Therapy scoreboard is 12-2. The Bulldogs over the Evanston Outlaws in 5 innings. Join us next Wednesday when our Outlaws take on the Green River Knights, a doubleheader to open conference play. We'll be on the air with you at 3:45 on Wednesday for our pregame. First pitch scheduled for 4 o'clock on Wednesday. Until then, go Outlaws.
You've been listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw American Legion Baseball on KNYN, the Big Dog in Country, with video online at k-9radio.com. Today's game has been brought to you by these Outlaws supporting businesses and individuals. Big O Tires, Castle Rock Chevrolet, Hoover Chiropractic, T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, Old West Stories and Productions, Dirty Harry's Pet Wash, Old West Design, Telegram to Good Health, Allstate, Casey Kukert Agency, Walmart of Evanston, Ogden's Flooring and Design of Evanston, Rocky Mountain Massage, Davis Chiropractic, Aspen Grove Nursery, and your scoreboard sponsor for today's broadcast was Uinta Physical Therapy. Thank you for listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Evanston Outlaw American Legion Baseball on KNY and the Big Dog in Country with video online at k-9radio.com.